Hello, my name is Mr. Anderson. I'm the fifth grade band director here in the Sycamore School District. I teach these fifth graders along with Mr. Mertens and Mr. Goodman in after-school band, and Mrs. Mertens also helps teach several of our lessons too. I'm going to keep this a lot shorter than I did the first concert for all of our returning fifth grade parents because we have several bands to get through today. This is a really, really, really fun concert. Having the 8th grade band here as well as the high school symphonic band, this is a great chance for our 5th graders to get to hear what it's like to go through the Sycamore band program. This is always a really fun concert. I know our 8th grade bands and our high school bands always sound great, and it's amazing just to see that progression as you go through middle school and high school. On the flip side, for you guys, this is a great chance for you guys to reflect on, hey, we used to be at this point in time too. Look how far we've come from when we first got started. It's also amazing to see how much the 5th grade has progressed in the last 2 months since their first concert as well. You're going to see that even more on our last concert when they're doing all full band arrangements. For this concert, we're going to start on 3 songs from our beginning band book. The first of which is Go Tell Bill, which is a little bit of a, it's a version of the William Tell Overture. Our next song from the book is Bingo. Our next tune after this, in our first concert of the year, we did branch out into 2 parts for a couple of the songs that we had. But this is a chance for us to branch out even further and start developing a little bit more independence amongst different instrument families of the ensemble. We are playing this next one as a canon. Well, the first time we play it, we'll play it all together, and then after that, we're actually going to break into 4 parts. This song is Frere Jacques. The first group, this is partially for these guys too, so I hope they remember. The first group will be our flutes, oboes, and percussion. Our second group will be clarinets and saxes. Our third group will be trumpets, and our fourth group will be low brass and French horns. Here is Frere Jacques. I have to stall a little bit on this next one because our percussionists have to get set up on their drum pads as well as snare drum. This is the first time in full band setting. We've been doing it in your lessons for quite some time, working on it for percussionists, both bells and drum pad. But this is the first time in full band that we're switching over to using the drum pad. On the last concert of the year, we actually have several different percussion assignments. We start branching out into lots of different instruments. Instead of just playing bells and drum pad, you're going to see snare drum, bass drum. You're going to see lots of smaller percussion instruments like triangle and tambourine. You might see several instruments like, we'll still use bells and things like that as well. Tom-toms, cymbals, lots of different instruments that we start branching out to on this last concert. There's a couple other things I wanted to chat about though too. Coming up next week, Mrs. Mertens, Mr. Goodman, and myself are going to be looking at all of your students' practice records and seeing if they reach the 20-hour mark set for the Culver's party. That's our halfway midpoint mark to see if your students have really been getting after it with their practice. We'll check inside your practice records and make sure that you've signed off on it too. And at that point in time, we'll give your students a letter saying whether or not they earned the Culver's party. There's also a 40-hour mark at the end of the school year due by our last concert on May 7th that is for a pizza party for 40 hours at the middle school for anybody who meets 40 hours or finishes the book in their lessons. That is determined by their teachers. Additionally, right before the break, I passed out a letter to all of our fifth grade parents with some local private teachers as well as instrument cleaning. Be thinking about instrument cleaning. All the information that you need is on those papers. Please contact me if you need any more information. I can maybe forward that if you lost it or something like that. And additionally, we have, if you're looking for private lessons are a really great thing for students to really kind of take that next step or get caught up on something that they're really struggling with in lessons, or if they just find that they really love their instrument and they want to learn more about it. Getting that individualized attention instead of being in a group setting is really, really helpful for them. We also have two local community corporations that that set up private lessons. One is the Music Connection here in Sycamore, and the other one is the community school, the Arts over at Northern. So any way that you can get your students involved in lessons is great for their personal development. It's helpful for our program too. Next up is a really fun tune. It's called Dragonfire, and this is our first chance to really branch out into what I call a full band arrangement. This is where every single instrument is playing their own independent parts. This is what our last concert is going to look like entirely. But this is a really great opportunity for us. At first, everybody was like, oh, I don't know if we could do this. And then I noticed on our rehearsals the last 2 weeks, and even today, right before we came in here, a little bit of a twinkle in everybody's eye going, oh, this is actually kind of fun. So I hope you enjoy Dragonfire. Before we play our final song, I want to thank all of the parents, as well as all of the elementary faculty and staff, as well as all of their music teachers for all the work that they put in to help coordinate everybody's schedules and really help get students ready to go so they can be ready for band. This is really, really, really helpful for us. They're doing a really great job this year, and we really enjoy working with them. Our lessons are going to continue as they were been previously scheduled. We're still going to have lessons tomorrow. We're still going to have lessons all throughout next week. And after school band is going to stay the same on Mondays and Tuesdays for those students. Our final concert of the year is on Monday, May 7th. So they have a good chunk of time to get ready for that from between here and now. That will be with the 5th and 6th graders at that point in time. So thank you very much for everything you do. We are also going to be pulling out some full band, some fun tunes for full band as well throughout the next couple of months that I think that your students are really, really going to enjoy. So I hope they enjoy that as well. After we're done with this next tune, Jingle Bells, we are going to come down and sit down where the 8th grade is and listen intently to the 8th graders in high school. They've been a great audience for us, so these guys are going to do a really great job as well for them. And I hope they enjoy the rest of the concert because this is really a special concert that the Sycamore School District does. It's a lot of fun. Our last tune, I know we're past the holidays now, but we're going to do Jingle Bells anyways because it's a great tune. Here is Jingle Bells. Thank you very much.
row, second row, third row. Okay? Unison this time. One, warm up. Two, one, two, and half notes go, and. Try it again. Not to be flat. One and two, and ready, and go, and. I hope they appreciate how I'm stalling for time. Next, I'll juggle. Just kidding. My name is Scott Mertens. I'm the Sycamore Middle School band director. It is great to see everyone here. One of the questions I know that goes through every fifth grader, every parent of fifth grader, you don't have to admit it, I just know it. It's like, does it get better? The answer is yes. 3 years later, we have this group right here, the 8th grade. They're a wonderfully talented group. I've enjoyed working with them very much this year. We have 3 pieces that we're going to play for you tonight, some of which you may have actually heard before. This first piece is called Saber Dance. It was written by Aaron Kachaturian. It is an orchestral transcription for band. And it involves our percussion section, playing a lot of offbeats. It was kind of 19th century ska, for those of you who are rock and roll fans. Chicken, 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 chicken. So you're gonna hear that. It's almost like a rock piece or a techno piece, only back in the day. This is Saber Dance. before we play our next song, I just want to congratulate the 5th grade band for doing a wonderful job. My comment earlier, please don't let that be construed as, oh man, is it ever getting better? No, that was actually a very good 5th grade band performance. I was just thinking of that when I was on the podium. I was like, I should have chosen my words a little more carefully. Okay, so, but obviously I have a lot of fun working with these guys. And I'm very lucky because I also get to work with many of these students in high school as well. For those of you who don't know, I'm the Sycamore High School Jazz Ensemble Director. And we have a few big performances coming up. This Sunday, if you'd like a sneak preview of our winter 2018 season, you can see us at the House in DeKalb, the House Cafe, 3 o'clock this coming Sunday. Then on Saturday, February 3rd, at the Egyptian Theater, we're going to be part of a program that's going to include DeKalb High School Jazz Ensemble, the Jazz in Progress, and which is a local community group made up of adult jazz members, and then the NIU Jazz Orchestra, their top group there, led by the amazing Reggie Thomas. It's a wonderful celebration of jazz here in the DeKalb Sycamore area. It's at the Egyptian Theater, and it's on the 3rd. And anyway, the big attraction is apparently the triangle player, but besides that, it's A Note to Remember, which is at Blooming Gardens. It is sponsored by the Sycamore Music Boosters. They just had a meeting a few minutes ago where they talked about some of the details for that. That is going on from 7 to 11 p.m. You can come whenever time you like. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in just a second after this next piece, but it is a huge event here, and it connects the city of Sycamore with the schools, and it's wonderful. It's going to include the jazz choir. It's going to include the one of the string groups from Sycamore High School. It's going to also bring in Jazz in Progress, and then one of our very famous alumni, Carl Monska, who I believe was playing in the Hamilton Pit? He was conducting the Hamilton Pit, yes. Also playing in that pit. He's a fine jazz pianist, and he's going to be the featured performer, along with his brother Eric as well, who was also at last year. So great professional jazz coming in from Chicago for that. There are tickets on sale in the lobby, $30. It is a wonderful night. I'll talk more about it in a little bit, but a lot of, for those of you who've been, tell your friends. It's a great event. All proceeds go towards Sycamore Music Boosters, towards some of the great things that they do. So please, 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 tickets on sale. Ms. Claire Dempsey, mother of said horn player up here, Aiden, is taking tickets and is selling tickets. So afterwards, please go see her and buy some tickets. It's a great night, February 10th, Saturday, 7-11 Blooming Gardens. The next piece is a ballad by the wonderful Mark Williams, fantastic late composer from Washington State. And the name of this is Green Willow Portrait. A moment ago, I spoke of the Note to Remember fundraising gala that we're having at Blooming Gardens. Again, great event. We are looking for a couple of ways. There's a couple of ways that you can help us with that event as far as making it a success. It has been a success. This is the 10th year, I believe, of that wonderful event. We are in need of some volunteer help. Those of you in the high school jazz band and the 8th grade band, I know parents, hopefully you received an email from me probably the tail end of last week that had some information regarding sign-up links. There's Sign Up Genius we use, and you can sign up for help. We have some shifts as far as like setup for teardown. We need some food runners for the event. We do ask you to purchase a ticket, but the shifts are like 1 hour, 2 hours, somewhere in there. We have some amazingly committed parents. Debbie Bogus, who's in the audience right now, who's the chairperson. The Hects, who are taking care of the food. Just a fantastic, the food there is wonderful. Genre is coming in, and it will be serving some of their wares as well. So please come to this event, it's great. Volunteer if you can. I'll send out another link email where you can sign up for help if you'd like to do that. It's great. The other thing too is we also have silent auctions and raffle baskets. So if there are any sort of items that you would be willing to donate for this event, there are like raffle baskets. If there's if you have CDs, if you have concert tickets, if you have event tickets, sports tickets, memorabilia, the sorts of things that you put in for raffle baskets, those things really helpful. I'm going to send another copy of that letter out. We're a little low for donations. I'd love to get some more. It's one of the ways that we were able to provide opportunities for these wonderful students, like scholarships, some of the equipment, including the new tenor sax that we have. That's Boosters. Our Boosters organization is amazing. So please, those two things, sign up and help, and if you can donate anything for the raffle baskets, that would be hugely helpful. So again, if you have any questions, please email me, Mr. Anderson, or Mr. Goodman. We can answer those. Our last piece is Disney. It is highlights from the movie Frozen. have a very short break, and we will bring the high school symphonic band up here for a treat. Thank you very much. Great job, guys.
Probably closer. Yes. I have lights for that. Oh, there they go. Good evening. This is the high school symphonic band, and I was going to walk off stage and walk back on, but that just seems too strange right now. So I will tell you, though, we are about to go all in the dark, okay, just so you know. I'd like to take an opportunity to thank our guest string bass player from our orchestra, Mr. William Kane, with us today. Thank you. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed our first piece. We're a little more conventional after this, but we like to mix things up a little bit once in a while. So that was Cave, and you can see sort of where that comes from. Sort of a jazz-inspired piece, and actually written by a composer who was in residence at Northern Illinois University back in the 1970s, and was written for the Northern Illinois University Wind Ensemble. So there's kind of a little hometown connection there with that too. Would like to take an opportunity, first of all, to thank everyone for being here tonight as well. My name is Ken Goodman, and I'm the director of bands here at the high school, but I also work with our fifth graders and teach many of these students. And I do have a note for fifth grade parents, and it kind of ties in what I'm about to say. I will not have lessons at Southeast on Thursday and North Grove on Friday, because next week, still come this week, North Grove, okay? See you tomorrow. Next week, because I'm going to Peoria with several members of our high school music department that were chosen for our All-State Music Conference. We had 13 students selected from the entire band, orchestra, and choir program, and I would like to recognize 3 of those that are in this ensemble. Selected for band, we had Ryan Lloyds on saxophone. On oboe for orchestra, Matthew Rogers, and then also selected for choir is our principal clarinetist, Jennifer Deemer. Please give them a round of applause. Our next piece was actually a popular song, and you're going to hear some sort of jazz elements, which actually you also heard in some of the last piece as well. Written right at the end of World War I, and hence the name "The World is Waiting for the Sunrise," because the world had been a very dark place at that point in time, and this piece is sort of written to buoy up the spirits of the United States at the time. The funny thing about it is the composer who wrote it was a very serious composer, and he wrote under a pen name because he was embarrassed by the piece. But it's a fun march, and it fits very well for the medium. This is "The World is Waiting for the Sunrise." Hey, fifth grade band. Do you know what instrument was playing that solo? That really fast solo? It was a baritone. Did you know they could play that fast? They can play really fast. Yeah, it's a lot of notes right there in that spot. Should we have you play it again, Madeline? No, I don't think she wants to play it again right now. Like to thank the 8th grade band for joining us only 2 nights ago. My goodness, that went fast. 2 nights ago for a basketball game and pizza party. It was a great time, and man, did we sound good. It was awesome to have everybody there with us together. I know not all the students could attend, but we had a lot of them there, and we had a really great time, ate a lot of pizza, and had a chance to play pep tunes together. That is the second to last time we'll have an opportunity to meet and hang out with your students. The next one is Monday, which is curriculum night here at the high school, and that's a chance for all incoming freshmen to sort of mingle around and see what elective classes there are. If you have questions, if you still have questions, if they haven't been answered by our marching band get-together, our presentation, which our high school students made to the 8th grade in December, our basketball game, please come by and talk to us on Monday. We'll have some students there who can answer questions, so it's like, that's Mr. Goodman. He's just going to tell us what he thinks we want to hear. No, let's talk to the students about it and really get the real story. If you're not sure, you don't know what or you have questions, this is your chance to ask them. All right, and same thing for parents. If you have questions about things, please come and talk to us about that. We'd love to answer those questions for you. I think if you ask any of the students that are on the stage and any students who have graduated from our program, they would say to any incoming freshman, you owe it to yourself to at least try it and be in the high school band. It seems like, it's so much work. There's pep band, and there's marching band, and we have to do ensembles, and there's so many things. But you know what? They're doing it. And whether they're freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior, they're up here, they've made it happen. They are 3-sport athletes, they are FFA, they are Sci-Fi Club, they are all those things together. They have jobs, they go to church youth group, but they have made that work, and they will help you make that happen. This is a great organization. It plays a really important role in our school, yet at the same time, not just what the role it plays for other people, but the role it plays in developing these students, I think is really important. And I know Mr. Burton says it really eloquently. I don't know if I can match his phraseology with that. But it's like this organization, the music department, develops students who are responsible, who enjoy and understand how to consume music in an appropriate manner, and really just create a great environment of a good group of people. So I really hope you join us for next year because I think you will have a really great time. And so I think I'm done with that. But we appreciate everyone being here tonight. I know I get the fun part of getting to close the concert, and I hope I've picked a good piece to finish with. This piece is entitled Khan, and that doesn't tell you much, but if I can give you a shorter summary that has a few more words, it's basically telling you the story of Genghis Khan. And if you don't know who Genghis Khan is, Genghis Khan was basically a warlord who ruled over a good portion of Asia and almost all the way to Europe hundreds of years ago. He was probably one of the most successful and feared leaders of people any time in history. So his impact is quite amazing. And this piece sort of details that, whether it's the army on the move or villages that are about to be ransacked, or so it paints a picture of really early history, around the 1000s AD of Asia and of Genghis Khan. So for our last piece on this program, we present Khan.